It's hot in here. This is just water. Oh, I don't think that was just water. Hi, I just got back from a wedding. Yeah, my older sister Carissa got married today. That's weird. Okay, so let's get started with the Qnaee. It didn't leak. I thought it was gonna leak when I did that. Okay. So let's answer the first question. It says, if some asked you why do you believe the Bible, what would you tell them? I would tell them I believe it because the Bible was written by 40 different people over the course of thousands of years. A long time. Like 3,400 years by 40 different people, and there are no There are no contradictions in the Bible, even though it was written over 3,400 years by 40 different people, and there are no contradictions. This is real life history. This was happening. This was recorded. Everything. So it's kind of like George Washington was recorded in history. You've never seen him, but we still believe he was real. Well, Jesus was real. All these prophets, they're all real. And everything it all makes sense. And that's really why I believe it. I mean, I don't know if that's the answer I should answer. I don't know, maybe I should look into that. But I would answer because it just makes sense. It's history and everything works. It's not contradict. So there's no contradictions pretty much. That's one of the main reasons. But also, it's because I'm a Christian and I believe the Bible because it's God speaking to me. So yeah. For a Chindleton subject, would you actually talk about the Loren Daigle things and stuff? Thanks. No. I mean, maybe, but you are asking this on a Qnaee. I don't take suggestions from a Qnaee. If you want to suggest a Chindleton subject, you go on the Chindleton's channel and you comment below about a subject idea or something. Or you can email us, which is chindletons@gmail.com. But it's easier just to comment down below. Daniel then says, do you think God has a sense of humor? I really don't like this question, so I don't know. I mean, everyone's like, oh, look at God's sense of humor when he made the platypus. Why does the platypus prove that God has a sense of humor? Yeah, okay, so we're made in the image of God, and he has a sense of humor, so that could mean, hey, maybe we have a sense of humor. I don't know, okay? God hasn't told me a joke yet. How's life? Don't ask that right now. Next question. Bling Bling Boy is a Johnny Test character, yo. I think that's Giga answering from my last Qnaee. Can you read this joke to your subscribers? I wrote it. A farmer was found feeding weed to cows. The stakes have never been higher. Not Jack flippin' Buckley. Hope my audience is laughing at that joke. Why haven't you responded to my texts? What? I don't got my phone, but I don't know who you are. I can't answer your text if I don't know who you are. Yo, this is a long question. Okay, let's start reading it. It's by some random guy that nobody cares about. Okay, look, just to make this clear. I can promise you every single person out there, somebody cares about you. It's just somebody. There's not a single person that nobody cares about. Not a single person. Anyways, let's start reading. I have a question for you, Mr. Tyndall. Let's hypothetically say that you make it to heaven when you die, and you are in eternal paradise. Okay, you know what? This ain't all gonna fit on my little question thing, so I'm gonna have a display thing appear over me. Anyways, where was I? That's all fine and dandy until you find out that someone who was very dear to you when you were alive didn't make it. Not only would you never see them again, as if that wasn't bad enough, you also have to live with the knowledge that they are suffering an unimaginable unbearable pain, and they will continue to suffer until the end of time. Is there an end to time? Guess that's a separate Qnaee. Anyway, I think we should change the music a bit because it's not matching what I'm reading here. So, something more dramatic. Could you truly enjoy heaven knowing that that person or even that anyone is suffering such a wretched fate? Before you say that they deserve it, think about it for a moment. An infinite punishment for a finite crime. Maybe some people do deserve to be punished, but not forever. Not to mention that most of the people who suffer this fate aren't even being punished for a crime they have committed, but being unaware of the existence of God, regardless of how good or bad they were in their lifetime. If they didn't know about Jesus, they would be condemned to this awful fate. Is that really justice? Would you send your child to be tortured if they had done something evil? Even if they did do something wicked and unforgivable, would you torture them? If so, you have just confessed to being an awful person. However, I trust that you would not do such a thing. Now, if God would be willing to torture people for all of eternity simply for not being aware of his existence or picking the wrong religion, wouldn't that make him very cruel and unloving? Any kind and loving God would at worst cause them to painlessly cease to exist. If God is willing to have people tortured for all of eternity, is that really a God that you want to worship? If he is powerless to stop this from happening, then he isn't omnipotent. I can never say that word. If he is capable of stopping this, yet he does not, then he's just flat out cruel. Now, I understand that this is possible that you do not believe in a God who tortures people, but I ask this question under the assumption that you do. I know this is a long question, but by no means do I mean to offend you, Mr. Tyndall. This is just a question I've been pondering all my life. You do not have to answer it if you do not want to. Signed, some random guy that somebody cares about. Alright, so this is not one question. This is a couple of questions, so I'm going to try to answer them. So the first question is, how can you, okay, somebody is, you go to heaven, okay? I make it to heaven, hypothetically, according to this. As if that wasn't bad enough, you also have to live with the knowledge that they're suffering and unimaginable. Okay, just keeps going. I don't think that will be a problem. Not that you won't love them anymore. I really don't actually see would you still love them? I guess you would still love them. I think God even still loves them. But here's the thing, is that we're gonna be with God. Everyone else who's gone to hell, they're not even gonna, they are sin. We can't even look upon sin because we will be perfect. We will know how it feels to be perfect in heaven. And sin, we're not going to be able to look upon sin because we will see sin the same way God sees sin. And that's the other question here. So it's like they don't deserve it because that's an infinite punishment for a finite crime. Okay, so this finite crime that you're talking about is going straight up against rebelling God, the one who created you. So when you sin, you have broken his law. And to you, oh, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. It was just a white lie or something. Well, you know what? Not to God. Whose standards are you going by? You're going by your standards. Your standards change. Your standards are not reliable. Because Hitler looks like this evil guy, and then some person who told a lie, oh, they're not as bad. This is you comparing by your standards. And another thing is, if you see someone struggling with a sin that you never, oh, I've never even struggled with that at all. You're like, oh, that's horrible. But then once you do it, you might be like, oh, it's really not that bad. Everyone messes up. So you cannot rely on your standards of sin, of how bad sin is. So if you go against God, and it says unforgivable sin, even if they do something wicked and unforgivable. Every sin you commit, except for rejecting the Holy Spirit, is all forgivable. You can be forgiven for every sin. All you have to do is come to Jesus and trust in Him. Put your trust in Him. He paid the fine for your sin. Tortured and crucified on the cross. All the sins of the world ever was upon Him at that time. It says God even was pleased to crush Him. He did that so that we can get to heaven even though we committed all these sins. God has forgiven you. All you have to do is trust in Jesus and you can be forgiven, saved. Would I send my child to be tortured if they did something evil? Even if they did something, would you torture them? If so, no, I would not. If they did something evil, I would forgive them, just like God has forgiven me for all my sins. If I'm like, oh my goodness, torture this child, well, guess what? I have done some really bad stuff, okay? I am a sinful person, and God has forgiven me. I can forgive my child for whatever evil thing he's done, and no, I would not send them to be tortured. God isn't sending everyone to be tortured. God saved me. I should go to hell, but God has saved me, and He can save you too. You say nobody cares about, well, you know what? God cares about you. And if you come to Jesus, He can save you from your fate. Because if you do not accept Jesus, you're going to hell for what you've done, because that is just. A good judge wouldn't let you off the hook, okay? And I think that's all. Let's see, what else did you discuss? Sorry, I'm kind of like jumping up and down on here, but... So God is not cruel, He is just. God is loving, He's just. I mean, He's giving you this free pass to heaven. Just trust in Jesus. That is the most loving thing ever. I think I've answered all of it. So if I skipped over anything here, ask another Qnaee. I'm really bad at answering these really long things. If you ask me just a direct question, maybe I can answer it. If I did not answer it all the way, or how you would want me to answer, well, I won't say that. Just ask me again the part saying, hey, you skipped my part of the message that asked, and then we'll see if I can ask it. Why don't you watch Marvel? Because I don't care about movies, and Marvel looks boring. Next, who created God? Nobody created God. God is existed forever. Always existed. My mind can't even fathom that. I mean, imagine something actually existing forever. Anything. Even if it's a beach ball floating in space. Space? Wait, where is space? It's just always been there. But then always, to say he created time. How did He create time if creating happens in a time? Create it. In your opinion, what is the worst swear word? Krispy Kreme. Why did Trinity's question about superpowers in the last Qnaee make you mad? Because everybody asks, what type of superpower would you have? And I just am really tired of that question. I don't know. Okay, so with a superpower, you could just pick anything? Anything? Fly, invisible. What, you have to name some superpowers that are actually things. It doesn't have to be a superpower that is from a movie with a superhero. I don't see. It just doesn't make sense. What is a superpower? What was the craziest thing you have done involving a restaurant like Chick-fil-A or McDonald's? Okay. What is up with this thing and asking me questions about past videos I made? Is that like some internet trend I'm not in? Bugs Bunny says, where do you live? I live at my house. Here is a riddle. Before Mount Everest was discovered, what was the highest mountain on Earth? Mount Everest. Like, duh. If someone's heart stops and they come back to life, do you believe that they go to heaven? Or do you believe they just wake up? Signed, human being. Well, when I was like born, I'm pretty sure my heart actually stopped. I don't know how long. It could have been a few seconds. Could have been a minute. I don't know. My heart did stop in here. I'm pretty sure I died and I came back to life and I did not go to heaven. I just kind of woke up. So yeah. What piece of clothing or accessory can someone wear that immediately makes you have a bad opinion of them as a person? Those people at the like bad parts of town and their pants are like falling down and you feel like going and helping them out, or like, hey, do you need a belt? What behaviors make you think a person is creepy? When their pants are like all the way down to their knees. Pretty creepy there. Random Nation. What is the most interesting you could do with a 400 pounds cheddar cheese? I could do something with it. I could eat it. That would be really interesting. What would be the funniest thing to fill a pinata with? Ooh, that's a good question. Can you imagine moths? Like fill it with a whole bunch of moths or some sort of big bug that flies. And you get the kid to hit it and it breaks and the bug. Okay, that would be kind of mean. Have you ever tried baking it before? Do you see? What did I tell you? They like to do that. It's not funny. What was the craziest thing you've done in the restaurant like ChickfilA or McDonald's? Didn't we just answer that question? Which has been your favorite Chindletons video? Chindletons is spelled with 2 L's for future reference. Anyways, probably the gun control. You can click that right here. Suppose you ask your mom if you can go out with your friends and she says yes, but then your dad has a job for you and for you to do and he says no. What would you do? Well, if I was a good boy, I would go and finish the job I had to do before I can go out with my friends. But if I was a bad boy, I would just listen to my mom and then later tell dad, oh, I couldn't do that. Mom said I could go hang out with my friends. Which, knowing my dad, he would understand, but he'd be like, you know what? Cameron could have been a big boy, a good boy, and did this stuff. I guess it really comes down to what is the job. Okay, signed by Winky Face. Okay. How adorable are adorable baby ducks? Also, this music is catchy. Yeah. Because it's my music. Anyways, how adorable are adorable baby ducks? Just a little bit more adorable than adorable baby turtles. Do you love me? Yes, if you hit the subscribe button. If you have hit the subscribe button and the bell and you like this video, then I love you. The one who watches when you sleep. When is the last time you cried? Like just tear up or... You know what? This is getting uncomfortable for me. And that is all our Qnaes. I don't know what else to say. That was fun. We answered some Qnaes and there was a lot of long ones in there. And now I have an empty Qnae inbox. You have some good questions. Now, if you ask a question in the link below, you also have to comment below, like the video, and share with a friend. That's an order. And assuming you've watched this long video all the way through, what was I gonna say? Thanks for dropping by.